Shalom and welcome to Kingdom of Israel, Florida. Here at KOI, our mission is to seek out the remnant of the Most High, Yahuwah Elohim. If you are learning and growing, like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification button so you don't miss any future KOI videos. If you would like to support the ministry, our Cash App is in the description box. We would greatly appreciate that. Also, if you would like to join the ministry, our website can be found in the description box as well. Thank you once again, and now to the video. Shalom, shalom.
It looks like you lost another one.
I'm a preacher of Yahuwah, hallelujah. No matter the terrain, Yahuwah make a rain. So you better know his name. I'm not rapping for the fame, just proclaiming the end game.
What's up, my peoples? What's up, Israel? This is Rob,
Frank.
and we're going to talk about idolatry. All right, so we're going to get right into it. All right, we're not going to waste any time on this.
Yeah.
We wanted to do this video because we think the number one thing that's holding the remnant back, all right, that's slowing down what the Most High said he would do, the promises he made to Israel in the last days. We think the main thing is idolatry. All right, there are many things, sin being one of them, but we just think that the major problem is idolatry, especially idolatry within Christianity. You got anything you want to add before we get into the verses out?
No. Well, actually, yeah. The Father made it very clear that idolatry is a big no-no. As a matter of fact, is the first commandment. That's how big it is. So, just something to think about and let that marinate. But go ahead,
All right. Well, first thing we're gonna do is get into this definition of idolatry, and I'm on my phone. I'm scrolling through just some of the general definitions of idolatry. And anybody can do this. You can Google the word idol or Google the word idolatry, and it's going to give you all the information you need. You'll have plenty of options of things to read, things to study on, and things to research. So the first thing that came up was the worship of idols. And added to that is extreme admiration, love, or reverence for something or someone. All right. In religion, that's exactly what you have, what I just read right there. Extreme admiration, love, or reverence for something or someone. When I was a Christian, I had extreme admiration and love for the character of the New Testament Messiah. All right, whether you call him Yahushua, Yahushua, Yeshua, Isa, Jesus, Jesus, all the different names they have for him, JC, the Christ, just all the different things that they have for him. No matter what you call him, most people that believe in him have made him an idol. All right, when the Father in the Old Testament, in the Tanakh, told us not to have any other gods but him. All right, and he definitely didn't tell us that he was going to send a son to take his place to be worshipped. That's nowhere in the Tanakh. All right, you want to add to that before I read another definition, Frank?
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. All right, the next definition, I'm gonna go to a familiar resource. That's the Merriam-Webster dictionary. All right, and in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, idolatry says the worship of a physical object as a god, or the immoderate attachment or devotion to something. And in Christianity, that attachment or devotion is to that salvific Son, when the Old Testament tells us we should be devoted to the Father. All right. And I'm going to go to one more resource, one more definition. Let's see. I'm going to go to Encyclopedia Britannica. All right, because it gives you a little breakdown here. It says idolatry in Judaism and Christianity, the worship of someone or something other than God as though it were God. All right. The number one commandment, the first commandment at the top of all the different things that the Most High told us was not to worship anyone but Him. So why would He come back and create something called a New Testament where He's going to tell people something different than what He told them at the beginning? All right, you want to speak on that out?
Yeah. You know, I can remember when I was in the church, the main focus, the one focus is JC all day long. And, you know, it's an abomination, really. And that's one of the biggest things that keeps people trapped, man. And y'all gotta wake up. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, what we're gonna share with you today will assist in waking you up and getting on the right track.
Absolutely. All right. Well, now I think it's time out to get into the verses. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with Deuteronomy 4.
Okay.
All right. Let me go there real quick. I think we're gonna be in Deuteronomy 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
All right, in Deuteronomy 4, there's a lot of meat on this bone. I'm gonna read several verses. I'm gonna read a couple of verses, then I'm gonna skip down and read a couple of more verses. All right, but I want to tell everybody, and I've said this in several previous of my videos. Read Deuteronomy 4. Study Deuteronomy 4. All right. Go in there, go under that English, and get a great understanding of the context of what the Most High is saying to Moses and through Moses in Deuteronomy 4. All right. I want to start with verse, let's see here. We're going to start at verse 14. Deuteronomy 4, and I'm going to read verses 14 through 18. All right. And it reads, and I'm reading from my Safari app on my phone. All right. It's a Tanakh app. It says, at the same time Yahuwah commanded me to impart to you laws and rules for you to observe in the land that you are about to cross into and occupy for your own sake. Therefore be most careful, since you saw no shape when Yahuwah spoke to you at Horeb out of the fire, not to act wickedly and make for yourselves a sculptured image in any likeness whatever, the form of a man or a woman, the form of any beast on the earth, the form of any winged bird that flies in the sky, the form of anything that creeps on the ground, the form of any fish that is in the waters below the earth. The Most High was telling the people, the children of Israel right there, you don't know what I look like. All right. All you heard was my voice when I was up there talking to y'all. All right. So since you don't know what I look like, don't compare me to nothing and make something that could be, portrayed as me. All right. And that would include a photo, image, carving, sculpture, any type of artwork or anything made, graven, all right, of a son that might represent the Father. All right. This is idolatry. All right, we're going to make sure that this is nailed into you guys this time. This is idolatry when you do this. We cannot create anything, even men. There can't be a man that represents the Most High. So that's one reason why the salvific Son cannot exist or coexist with the Most High. All right, you want to add to that?
Yeah.
Or I was going to say you can either add to it or go into a verse that you have.
Yeah, I just wanted to and I know you're going to touch on this. It's Exodus 20. And so, and I'm just going to read it here.
Okay.
You shall not have the gods of others in my presence. Okay. I want you guys to really think about that, because all of Christianity and a lot of these Hebrew Israelite camps like to throw in Yahuwah with under the same breath as the Father. Christianity is the same way. Let me go to verse 4. You shall not make for yourselves any graven image, like Ak was saying, or any likeness which is in the heavens above, which is on the earth below, or which is in the water beneath the earth. 5. You shall neither prostrate yourself before them, nor worship them. For I, Yahuwah, your Elohim, am a zealous God, who visits the iniquity of thy fathers upon the sons, upon the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, and I perform loving kindness for thousands of generations, for those that love me, and to those that keep my commandments. So the Hebrew word al, which is H5921, means when you pray, a lot of people say through JC, through Yahweh, or in Yahweh, or in JC. And Strong's definition is basically saying that exact thing not to do. And I'll just read what I have here. It means when you finish your prayer with in JC's name or through JC, that's violating the commandments, because you are putting the New Testament Messiah in the presence of Yahuwah Elohim. So let that marinate. You can't. It's just him alone. That's it. But go ahead, Al.
And I'm gonna go back over to Deuteronomy 4. We're gonna stay in Deuteronomy 4.
Yeah, my bad about that.
No, you do it up. We wanna nail this in as solid as we can. We shouldn't have to. Well, you never know what's gonna happen down the line, but we shouldn't have to touch idolatry again. After this. If people are gonna get it, this video will help them get it. For the ones that ain't gonna get it, then this truth ain't meant for them.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, and that's no disrespect, but unless the Father just has other ways of delivering people, or through different people to deliver people. What we're saying here today, if it don't open the eyes of the ones it's supposed to, then maybe they're not his. That's but let's see, Deuteronomy 4. All right, I'm gonna start with verse 33. It says, "Has any people heard the voice of a God speaking out of a fire as you have, and survived?" All right. Verse 34. "Or has any deity ventured to go and take one nation from the midst of another by prodigious acts, by signs and portents, by war, by a mighty hand and an outstretched arm, and awesome power, as your mighty one Yahuwah did for you in Egypt before your very eyes? It has been clearly demonstrated to you that Yahuwah alone is God. There is none else." 36. "From the heavens, God let you hear the divine voice to discipline you. On earth, God let you see the great divine fire, and from amidst that fire you heard God's words." 37. "And having loved your ancestors, God chose their heirs after them. The mighty one personally, in great divine might, led you out of Egypt, to drive from your path nations greater and more populous than you, to take you into their land and assign it to you as a heritage, as is still the case." 39. Listen to this. "Know therefore this day, and keep in mind that Yahuwah alone is God, in heaven above and on earth below. There is no other." Here's a perfect spot for him to add the salvific son in with him. But he didn't do it. Like Frank said earlier, Yahuwah is a very zealous God, a very jealous God. All right. He's the mightiest of all. He's the greatest power. All right. He's the source of everything. He's the mighty one of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And there is nothing, all right, there is nothing that he would rather do than to save his people. But he's not going to do it if we're in idolatry. All right. And so he says right here, you can see it with your own eyes. He says, Yahuwah alone is God in heaven, above and on earth below. There is no other. All right? This eliminates the salvific son, whatever people want to call him. This eliminates him from being equal to, all right, the Father. Therefore, nobody should be praying to him. That's idolatry. All right, Ak, you got another verse you want to drop in on us?
Yeah. I actually did not have this on what I was going to bring in today, but I felt to bring it because it's powerful.
Okay.
Deuteronomy 13. You guys can read. I don't know if you had that one.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Deuteronomy 13, the whole chapter. Read the whole chapter. Because the Father there, it's in verse 13. It says, and just think about what this is saying. It says, let us, basically, don't go serving other gods that your forefathers have not known. And you got to keep in mind that during this time, it was just the Father. He was doing all the miracle working, splitting the waters, doing all these plagues in Egypt, and giving the manna to the children of Israel. All these things, safety and everything. And there was no Jesus. A lot of times people want to say that Jesus was there from the beginning of time. I mean, they had no clue who that is. And Deuteronomy 13 says if somebody comes and takes you what has already been established from the foundation, which is the Father, to worship him only, what are you doing bringing another person or, wannabe God, which I don't even think JC knew that he was going to be turned into a God, but that's another conversation for another video. But, and I was, to all the Hebrew Israelites listening, you have a special connection that has been established since the creation. And he is the only true God. And there is no other. And you owe it to yourself to go search it out. How in the world are you guys going to settle for a God that has enslaved you and been used against you? And I'm talking about Christianity. I'm talking about Jesus, Yahuwah. It doesn't matter what name you put it, because in the Greek manuscripts there exist no names. Not until later, at least. And so what are you guys doing holding on to that? I just can't wrap my head around that.
You gotta let Yahuwah go.
Yeah, and it's always been the Father alone, And you got to keep in mind too that the Father is constantly testing. The New Testament is the biggest test of all, and a lot of people are failing it. This is why only a remnant is going to be saved.
That New Testament means a new test of men.
Yeah. And it's also a covenant, which the Father specifically told you not to enter into covenants with other gods.
Yep.
Every time you take that little sip of that wannabe wine, grape juice, that's what you're doing.
That's
exactly what you're doing.
Is entering in a covenant with a false God.
When I'm trying to remember where it says, but every time Jesus said, "This is a remembrance of me. Drink this as the New Testament." That word New Testament is covenant. Look under the English.
Yep.
Not look into the English. Look into the English, and you'll see.
Yeah, look at the etymology of the word.
Yeah. You guys got all those miracles that you guys may be hearing, seeing. That's what's keeping you guys trapped, because you are not trusting in the Father's word.
That's right. Following the New Testament is idolatry.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, I'm moving over to Deuteronomy 5 now.
Okay.
All right, Deuteronomy, the Father made it clear. All right, in Deuteronomy, he made it clear to the people, to them and through Moses, to Moses and through Moses. All right. In verse 6, it says, I, Yahuwah, am your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. 7, you shall have no other gods beside me. 8, you shall not make for yourself a sculptured image, any likeness of what is in the heavens above, or the earth below, or in the waters below the earth. 9, you shall not bow down to them or serve them. For I, Yahuwah, the Almighty, am an impassioned God, visiting the guilt of the parents upon the children, upon the third, and upon the fourth generations of those who reject me. All right, and then 10, but showing kindness to the 1,000th generation of those who love me and keep my commandments. The number one commandment, the main commandment, all right, is don't serve nobody but Yahuwah. Don't call on nobody but Yahuwah. All right, we have an obligation. All right, we are Yahuwah's people. We are his heritage. All right, we are his connection to this earth. He chose Israel. All right, and so in choosing Israel, that is a forever contract. That contract cannot be broken. Even though we have spit in his face many times over the centuries, all right, with our behavior, he still said he's going to save a remnant at the end. All right, the bloodline of Israel will be saved. All right, the Most High has chosen this people. Now there are people who can join Israel to be saved, but that's the only way to be saved. You have to be Israel or become Israel. It's the only way to be saved. All right, the number one way to miss your salvation is to commit idolatry. And that's what the world seems to be doing right now. And all religions are idolatry. All right, you just have to decide to follow what the Most High's word says, to be Israel. All right, so the physical Israel matters, but outsiders can become Israel. All right, you have to get into the Torah and figure out what the stipulations are. The Most High is not what do they call it, unconditional love God.
He doesn't
There is no unconditional love, all right, with him. It's conditional, all right. He set his law down. He set his statutes down. He set his commandments down. He set his judgments down. And we have to observe what we can. All right, we're not in the land, so everything cannot be observed. But what can be observed, what we can do in our lives to modify things and make the necessary adjustments to get in line with his word, we have to do those things. You want to add to that, Al?
And you did a good job with that. And man, I can't emphasize enough the idol worship that people got to get away from, man. You know, if you claim to be a Hebrew Israelite, I'm gonna tell you, this might piss you all off. If you claim to be the chosen people of the Most High, you are not acting at all like them. As a matter of fact, you guys will all be destroyed. All these camps believing in the New Testament, all these Christians along with them, you guys talking all that smack about them, you're going to be in the same boat as them. I mean, so it doesn't make you any better, you know? And you have to set yourself apart. You know,
believing in that salvific son is nothing. There's nothing set apart about it.
No.
Also, let me add this real quick. If you are keeping Shabbat, if you are keeping the feast days, if you're sacrificing animals, and then you go into the other things. If you're not taking his name in vain, you're not committing adultery, you're not committing murder, you're not stealing, all right, and just all the other things that a person can think of in the law and in the statutes to be doing that is pleasing to Yahuwah. but you still are serving a salvific son. Everything that you're doing right is being washed out by just that one thing, you serving a salvific son. Think about that. All right, because serving a salvific son was never a commandment. It was never a commandment.
Or to worship anyone else.
Exactly.
Anything.
Deuteronomy 4:2 says, don't add to or take away from his word. So where is the commandment that says we have to serve the salvific son to be saved? Where's that commandment at? It's not there. That got added, and we're not even supposed to add to the word. All right? So just something to think about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right? Give me one of your verses.
Yeah, let me take you guys to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 4. And it reads, "You shall not turn to worthless idols, nor shall you make molten deities for yourself. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim." And don't get confused, people, with the word God and Elohim, because it is plural, but it's plural of His Majesty, not plural and that there's three people in one. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. I did a lesson on that. He's the Almighty. I mean, so let me read one more time. "You shall not turn to worthless idols, nor shall you make molten deities for yourself. I am Yahuwah, your Elohim."
Worthless idols.
Yeah.
Any God but Yahuwah is worthless. That's what he's saying. He's making a distinguished proclamation there, all right, that he is the one, period. So I'm gonna throw another verse at y'all. Psalms 96, verse 5. "All gods of the peoples are mere idols, but Yahuwah made the heavens." The Almighty, the Most High, whose name is Yahuwah, like I said before, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, He is the only God. All right? Everything else out there that is worship or compared to Him or compared to the position of a God is an idol. And if you believe them, if you believe in those things or any of them things, any of them gods out there that aren't Yahuwah, that is idolatry. All right?
And let me piggyback off of what you just said. Let's go to Psalms 16, chapter 16, verse 4. And this is David here. He says, "May the sorrows of all those who hasten after another deity increase.
Man.
I will not pour their libations of blood, nor will I take their names upon my lips." I just said this earlier. You shouldn't be saying JC and the Father's name at the same time. Look, it's right there. David himself said that no other God's names or anyone but Yahuwah's name will come from your mouth. So it's only one name that should be coming out of your mouth.
And that's the Most High.
That's right.
He deserves all honor, esteem, prestige, and praise. All right. And worship.
Yeah.
All right. Throwing another verse at him.
Yeah.
All right. Leviticus 26:1. "You shall not make idols for yourselves, or set up for yourselves carved images or pillars, or place figure stones in your land to worship upon. For I, Yahuwah, am your God." So when he says in the verse part of that, "You shall not make idols for yourselves," you can't make an image in your head of a man. All right? We know what we've been shown. Well, a lot of us grew up in church, so we know what we've been shown. The image of the white Jesus. All right? And then you got Hebrew Israelite camps and groups out there that show a reverse image, opposing the European image. They show a Hebrew image of a black Yahushua, or a black Yahushua, or a black Yeshua. All right? Two wrongs don't make a right, though. They both wrong. We're not supposed to have a image of what the Most High looks like. All right, I read that in Deuteronomy 4. That's in Deuteronomy 4. He said, when you were at the mountain and I was speaking to y'all at the mountain, you didn't see no image. You didn't see no similitude. All right, you just heard a voice. We're not supposed to have an image of what the Most High looked like. He has so much pristine prestige that we can't fathom him. All right, no one has seen him. So we shouldn't disrespect him by images of animals or men. All right, that's disrespect. All right.
Let me give you guys another one. Exodus 23, verse 13. Concerning all that I have said to you, you shall beware, and the name of the gods of others you shall not mention. It shall not be heard through your mouth. So did you guys hear that? So no one's name but Yahuwah Elohim should come from your mouth. You break the commandments and sin when you mention other gods out of your mouth. You know?
That's we ain't even supposed to say these other names, but for the sake of edification, and for the sake of building up and helping others, helping you guys walk with the Most High. All right, we say Jesus, we say Yahuwah. We want y'all to know who we talking about. All right, but as we continue to grow in this truth, we have been scaling back from saying those other names. That's why every now and then you'll hear us say JC or Jeepers Creepers or something to that effect. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to give credence to, those other names.
Oh yeah. And I was just thinking that everybody wants to be out of captivity and be set back in the land of milk and honey. Well, you haven't even turned back to the Father.
Yep.
You're still holding on to the New Testament. And then, you guys, since this is just about idolatry, I won't get into other stuff, but, you guys can't even get that right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't be holding people high on a pedestal that it becomes a stumbling block. And what I mean by that, don't hold the leaders of these Hebrew Israelite congregations on a pedestal, because they're going to face the same judgment as you. They're not going to save you, and vice versa. Read what we've provided for you. Read it for yourself. You don't have to believe it. You can read it for yourself.
We want you to read it for yourself. We want you to study these things for yourself.
Yeah. And it's not just the Hebrew Israelite camps, it's also the Christianity and any other religion.
All the other religions. Islam, all the other religions.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Buddhism, But I'm going to throw another verse at him, Mark, and then we get close to wrapping up.
Yeah.
Isaiah 44. I know you got Isaiah.
Yeah.
You got an Isaiah verse as well.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this now, right here.
All right.
Or are we still on the idolatry part?
Idolatry.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is my last verse.
Okay, that's fine.
Right, Isaiah 44. All right, I'm going to start at verse 6. It says, Thus saith Yahuwah, the King of Israel, their Redeemer, Yahuwah of hosts. I am the first and I am the last, and there is no God but me. Who like me can announce, can foretell it, and match me thereby? He questioning y'all. All right, he questioning us. All right. Even as I told the future to an ancient people, so let them foretell coming events to them. All right. Do not be frightened. Do not be shaken. Have I not from of old predicted to you? I foretold, and you are my witnesses. Is there any God then but me? There is no other rock. I know none. This is Yahuwah speaking. All right. It continues. The makers of idols all work to no purpose, and the things they treasure can do no good. As they themselves can testify, they neither look nor think, and so they shall be shamed. In verse 10, who would fashion a god or cast a statue that can do no good? 11, Lo, all its adherents shall be shamed. Their craftsmen are merely human. Let them all assemble and stand up. They shall be cowed and they shall be shamed. This is the Most High making a severe proclamation that he is the only one. All right, it's serious. If you can't tell by the verbiage, it's serious. Who can do these other things but me? He's challenging us. He's challenging you. All right, I decided to listen to the truth. In my study, Yahuwah is the only one. All right, I'm not comparing him to nobody because there's nobody to compare him to. All right, he is unprecedented. Let me say that again. Yahuwah, he is unprecedented. And that salvific son in the New Testament tries to equate himself to the Most High. And that we can't allow it no more.
Yeah.
We cannot allow it no more.
And
we have to lift up Yahuwah above everything else.
Oh yeah. And I'm going to go back to something I said earlier. Whatever miracles you're seeing, whatever so-called prophet is telling you, all this mumbo jumbo, remember one thing. The Father has been established from the get-go. He tells you it's just him alone. And this is back in Deuteronomy 13. If a prophet comes telling you whatever, or whoever, your family members secretly tell you to let's go after other gods, that's what Christianity is doing. I don't care how nice you're putting it. If they're taking you away from the Most High or putting the Most High with another God at the same time, that's not only wickedness, but the Father has already warned you not to go after anyone outside of him that the ancient fathers have not known. I mean, it's simple as that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But we can go ahead and move forward.
Okay. So, let me go back to Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 4. It says, "Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah is our Elohim, Almighty. Yahuwah is one."
Now, let me read that in the Tanakh, because some people haven't heard it in the Tanakh.
Yep.
All right, Deuteronomy 6 and 4 and 5. Oh, no, Deuteronomy 6 and 4. It says, "Hear, O Israel, Yahuwah is our Elohim. Yahuwah is our mighty one. Yahuwah is our God. Yahuwah alone."
That's the word right there, alone.
Yahuwah alone. That's what the Tanakh says. All right. If the only Bible that you own is a KJV, I'm not telling you to get rid of it. What I am going to tell you to do is add 2 or 3 different translations to it and make sure one of them is a Tanakh, so you can get the full gist of what the context is trying to tell you. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah. And this is a famous one, Isaiah 43, verses 10 through 11.
Yeah.
"You are my witnesses, saith Yahuwah, and my servant whom I have chose, in order that you know and believe me, and understand that I am He. Before me there was no gods, formed, and after me none shall be. I am Yahuwah, and besides me there is no Savior."
There's no other Savior.
And this book the book of Isaiah was written, almost 8 to 1,000 years prior, before the New Testament, any New Testament manuscript or even Christianity's come along. So, and then Deuteronomy 13, now you're talking a long time. He forewarned because he knew these things were going to come. So there is no Savior but him, and there is no God but him, Yahuwah Elohim. Let me read you Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 10. "But Yahuwah is the true Elohim, Almighty. He is the living Elohim and an everlasting King." Not Jesus, Yahuwah. "At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide in his indignation. Yeah. So
The nations ain't gonna be able to stand up before his wrath.
yeah.
And it's him alone. He ain't sending back some salvific son to do this.
No.
However he does this, it won't be through a salvific son.
Yeah.
The only Bible verses in the Old Testament that talk about who his son is say that Israel is his son.
Yeah.
Or a version of Israel, whether it's Jeshurun, Ephraim, Jacob, all these. It never says a Yahuwah or a Yahushua is his son. It never says that. So, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, and man, that Jeremiah 10 was good though. You know,
Yeah.
because a lot of people want to call Yahuwah and Jesus King of Kings. Man, come on, get on out of here with that. Yeah, and he tells you there, you know, and you know there's a lot of, you know, how can I say this? Just do the research, man. Don't be led by fallacies. If something doesn't sound right to you and you in these camps, you better check twice, because whoever is the head over you in that congregation, either they're not doing their homework or they're lying to you, and they become an oppressor.
Yeah.
Okay, and we know what's going to happen to oppressors. So just because you are brew, you think the Father's just gonna be, oh, hey, you know, just come on right in? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
No, it's gonna be a bunch of Gentiles that don't get in, a bunch of them, and it's gonna be a bunch of brews that don't get in too.
Yeah. So don't get so high-minded, you know,
Yep.
because it's gonna be surprises.
Yep.
Just study, and I hope that this has helped you grow and understand that the Father wants you to serve Him only, and no one else. And this was established from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Nobody helped Him create the heavens. No one helped Him create anything.
And I hope you guys have been paying attention to worldly events, paying attention to what's going on. This time is winding down. All right. I'm asking you, go do the research. Go look. Don't just take my word for it. Don't just take Ak Frank's word for it. Go look for yourself. The word says, seek me with your whole heart and you will find me. All right? You have to look for Yahuwah. All right? Put away the idol. Don't pray in nobody else's name. Talk to the Father directly. There is no middleman that can get you to the Father. Talk to Him directly. That's an ultimate level of respect right there. All right. If you don't think you know you can do it, all right, without trying, how do you know?
Yeah.
All right. You gotta do it. You gotta put in the work. All right. To find the truth. If you ain't willing to put in the work to find the truth, you ain't gonna find it. And this ain't gonna click. The light ain't gonna come on. All right? Do the research for yourself. Don't just sit here and take it for granted that we're right. All right? Go look. Prove what we're saying. Prove it. Or prove it not. All right? But at the end of the day, the Father is going to iron all this stuff out. And some of y'all watching this video right now think y'all know it all. All right. And you're going to be sadly mistaken. And it's a bunch of y'all right now that don't know what to do right now. Listen, seek the Father. Get in your word, read, study. All right. It won't hurt you to fast either. All right. At the end of the day, if your heart is right, the Father gonna give you what you need. Any closing words out?
Time is short, man. You know, there's already a small group of us that have let go of the New Testament. You know, and all these congregations that are still in the New Testament, you know, you're going to share in and the destruction with everybody else, you know. So I just encourage you guys to study, and it's for you, not for me, because I can't save you. You're gonna be in front of the Father one day. You can't be like, hey, call all these, you know, the leaders of these camps or pastors to come, you know, be the mediator for you. It ain't gonna work, you know. It's just gonna be you. And of course, you ain't gonna have nothing to say to the Father other than, I was an idiot, I should have studied, or I should have looked. You think that's gonna get you in? I don't think so. So
a lot of y'all may have a bunch of questions. You'll answer some of your questions by just reading and studying.
yeah.
All right. Some of y'all want to go 100 miles per hour. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got to crawl before you walk. So,
And be humble.
hey,
Be humble. Don't, like I just mentioned, don't act like you know it all. We know there's a lot of smart Hebrew Israelites out there, but be humble. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because you will be humble,
yeah. If you ain't willing to be humble, you will be humble.
and you can count
All
on
right.
that.
Yes, I've been humble plenty of times. All right. Just slow down. All right. Take it one step at a time, one scripture at a time. All right. The stuff that you don't understand, ask the Father to help you. He's either going to open it up for you, or he's going to let you run across somebody or some video that can explain it for you. All right, that's just how it works. You might run across your answer on Google. Yeah, that's how it works sometimes. But we try to be available. All right, our information will be in the description box. All right, I'm done up with.
Yeah, no, that's it. You know, nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? And our duty is just to open up the eyes of the remnant. We know that everybody here is just gonna most likely blow us off, and just
we ain't here for everybody, because everybody ain't coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, everybody ain't gonna make it. So be strong, be confident, do your research, stay humble, and the number one thing, stop worshiping an idol. All right, put Yahuwah only. Put Yahuwah only. All right, and on that note, with that being said,
Shalom, shalom.
shalom, shalom.
Mel on the beat, dropping heat.